Hello, I am Professor von Baden-Schneifs, and this is the first English documentary I will do promoted in the Americas. This is Close Encounters of the Emerson kind, not your ordinary encounters. This makes me extremely scared, but the interviews that are about to show you are extremely real and will make your blood tremble and your bone marrow run away to mother for at lunch and your eyes scream and your brain flop out of your head like a German fighting fish and your toes fall off and start playing bowling because they are like 10 pins as they use your fingers as bowling balls to knock them over and you are laying in a bloody pool of screaming and death. It would be like running down the freezing cold Rhine River in the middle of a German winter and then being thrown into the Black Forest to freeze to death amongst the German tigers of Deutschland. Watch carefully. Your discretion is advised. I had heard stories about this man from some of my colleagues. Some had said he had been to the future. Others had said he is from the past. I have come to interview him and see what is the actual true story. Mr. Doe, is it true to the rumor that you had been to the past or the future?
Yes, Crystal. I'm from the 1950s. I traveled
From the 1950s. And you are traveling here now to 2016.
Yes.
My throat clenched and my fingers tightened. I could not believe the man was telling the truth. What did your abductors look like?
Some of them were green, some of them were gray. The gray ones were bigger, and I'm assuming those were the commanders. They also had steady or handheld rail guns.
Oh, the railgun. An outstanding weapon. Would they vanquish us, do you think, if they had invaded?
We could stand a slight chance, but we would probably get defeated.
What were the numbers that you saw?
How many?
Of the green ones.
The green ones, I saw 40.
And the grey ones were the servants.
700.
My left arm had fallen off, and I stuck the bone through my head in order to quench the unbelievable knowledge I had acquired. Or could they make themselves bigger?
Yes.
How big could they get?
I was not able to get that information.
So we could be attacked
If I tried to get that information, there would be a shoot to kill order on me.
How do you know so much about alien law?
There's a sign that says it right outside the main computer core.
How can you read alien?
Because they asked me what language you speak, I said English.
So
And
they had
translate all the
digital
signs.
On the ship. A movie when I was a boy was called Stalinschlatz vor den Stutsk. I think in America it is called the Star Wars. And Stalinschlatz vor den Stutsk was one of the greatest movies in Germany. And there was a ship called the Death Star. Do you think the aliens could have the technology to create an imperial order and destroy human race as a whole? We would all die under the weight of 1,000 schnitzel waffles. The end is near. I must call my cousin Baron von Sprachsk. He has a house in the German Alps. Maybe we can connect him there.
Shut! Shut! Shut!
My eyes began to explode because of the rudeness
up!
by this American man.
Shut up! Shut up! The device! I have the device just in case!
He's beginning to crack under the pressure. I thought I would end the interview now until my foot fell off and my eyes began to bleed more than the Rhine River. After the disastrous interview with the man from the 1950s, in which he giggled like a maniac and cracked under pressure like a boiling egg, I was now going to interview this man. He startled me with his appearance, enough to make the camera tremble, and my eyes bleed. Hello, what is your name?
What's good? My name is...
His absence of memory confused me. Why did this man not even know the most basic of questions? He seemed to be deranged of some sort. Why do you cry, little boy? Little boy, I did not intend to make fun of you. Your lack of sanity confuses me. Please, cease rocking in the chair. He fell. I was going to panic. My eyes were bleeding, my leg had fallen off, and everything around me had exploded into a mess of schnitzel and Uberschnitzel. I could not even think. The castle, my Uncle von Schnapp's castle had exploded, I was sure of it. I needed to pop down something cold to drink, possibly a schnapps, but I was not positive. What about the aliens? He had belched in my presence. It was extremely rude. Why did you burp? And what about the aliens? He had done it once more. The disrespect had made my eyes bleed and my arms fall off. I was using one arm to attack myself as he began to cry and laugh in a delirious sort of way. Little boy, you are being extremely rude. Can you tell me about the aliens? He had benched and sniped at least 10 times in a row. It was the most unbelievable benching performance I had ever seen since the Oktoberfest benching contest of 1976, in which Borash Schleifen won with a whopping 13 benches. What did your abductors look like?
Oh, they were so tall and friendly. Their skin was so soft and smooth. Their eyes were big and black and sparkly. They were so pretty I could gaze into them for hours. They're very real and very, very soft. They felt like a carpet. It was like rubbing on a big, soft blanket. I thought they just wanted to be my friends. Were they just using me? Wait, what? I was in my backyard, and I was in my sandbox, and there was a big, big light, and I don't know what happened after that. I woke up later, and everything was kind of dark, but I felt the soft, soft aliens in my arms.
My eyes were bleeding and my ears were passing sweat. This was the most unbelievable thing I had ever heard.
I'm wearing a hat? Oh, I guess they gave it to me. They're so kind. Oh, Lord.
It was Super Bowl, as I recall, which I don't watch much. And I began to weep. And Mr. and Mrs. Ethel began to weep. And Mr. Hawkins began to weep. And Sister Bonnie began to weep. And before you know it, everyone was weeping. I see the light, and I grabbed for the cow. And I grabbed onto its hoof, firmly grasping. And it dragged me upwards, and Ethel grabbed my foot. And before you know it, everyone in the congregation was in a singular line, going about 56 people. And I must grab by the legs in the line of 56 when the end of the world has come. And I looked up and I saw a spaceship. And I was scared. And I wept. And Ethel wept, and Mr. Hawkins wept, and Farmer Willikers wept, and Sister Bonnie wept, and before you know it, we were all weeping. And then another beam of red light shot out, blinded me, and I screamed the scream of 1,000 deaths. No, I blacked out like the dark Cerberus that was soon to eat my brains, and I laid, and I awoke, and I was laying in a chair, and we were all laying in a chair. And we began to weep, and Ethel began to weep, and Father Hawkins began to weep. I'm sorry. And Sister Bonnie began to weep, and Farmer Willikers began to weep, and before you know, we were all weeping. And as I recall, no one had any clothes on. One alien came in. He had big blue eyes, deep as the ocean, and I looked into its eyes, and its mouth, and its nose with 2 little holes, like rat scratches. And its head was so large and bulbous and bald. It looked like Michael Jordan in 1996, praise be upon him. His bald head, and it was gleaming, and the light from the ceiling was reflected in it. I'm sure the mouth was small, the eyes were big, the head was large, but it had hands. Small hands. Small feet, small body, small everything except for the head. And he looked at me with the eyes, and I said, "Brother, why must you lay me in a chair and speak to me? Speak to me, brother." And
didn't say a word, but his mouth opened and he emitted a low sound, a moan. But I came down. They left me down. I was on that chair looking into his eyes, and suddenly everything went black. And I was back on the ground. But not Betsy, not Mr. Millikers, and not Ethel. The next day, the people at the 56 were gone. Of course, we had more while I walked in the darnest Super Bowl. 128 people in the congregation. 116 the day after. I wept. And Sister Bonnet wept. And Brother Jones wept. And even young Jimmy wept. And before you know it, we were all weeping.
I am here now, after my interviews, with some very staggering information. The alien described to us have big bulbous eyes, like sein beach ball, and the mouth as small as a schnitzel appetizer, and a nose with 2 holes, like Voldemort in Schleifenstein. This makes me tremble. I began to then think, could thine aliens be living among us today? And the conclusion came to me like a schnitzel slap in the face. Possibly, there were lizard people that had been talked about. Maybe thine Queen Elizabeth, the old Queen of England, could be a lizard person. The only things that live as long as the Queen of England are the Galapagos giant tortoises, and they are lizards too. I then thought, what about thine Black Knight satellite? Not the Dark Knight satellite, but the Black Knight satellite. It is as black as night. I thought maybe the lizard people come from this satellite and come on Earth and come and destroy our culture.
Black Knight satellite is real, son.
I thought, as my hair was turning as white as a snow bear eating vanilla ice cream in a snowstorm, that possibly the aliens among us could be the ones to destroy our community. Today, the world is falling apart. Explosions, more explosions, and even further explosions, like one big Michael Bay movie. This made me upset because Michael Bay is not a good director. There is an alien coming, and no one can stop it, not even the lizard Queen of England. This is it for the documentary, and possibly for human history as we know.